to the intro, and we will be back in just over a minute. See you guys soon.
What I want you to want, what I want you to feel. But it's like no matter what I do, I can't convince you to just believe this is real. So let go, I'm watching you, turn your back like you always do. Face away.
So many different words, all of them coming out the wrong time. But this should be a pretty cool PPT.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always interested to see what Dewalt does. I feel like I learn a lot, and that's saying something because you don't really know a lot. Anything is something. So I'll see what happens when he scouts. Looks like Terran is going to scout incorrectly, just like Protoss did, but because he scouted earlier, that was after scout after Gateway. So he is
Yep.
going to get in. Well, he's
DeWalt's
not
not
going to
going to
get
get
in.
in. Yeah, it's maybe this is one of the reasons why this is my one of my favorite maps. It's got a barracks depot wall that zealots
Yeah.
can't run past and kill you. So I got a lot of playtime on this map on iSeek. Whenever it was map of the week, I'd always host this one, and I always enjoyed watching the games on this one as well. But this is just so frustrating to watch. Like just watching DeWalt's probe just like harass the poor SCV. And like you get unlucky, and then the SCV goes back outside the wall again, and it's like, ugh. It looks like he's done a pretty good job. He's trying to repair, but this is the problem. The SCV's popped off the barracks on the wrong side, so that's going to be stuck out
Yeah.
there for now.
It's hard to like spam S and get the SCVs to like do like anything. I mean, he did get lucky, I guess, in that his SCV did not die to dumb harassment that's not supposed to kill it, but sometimes does if brood war things happen. But the barracks goes up, no scout comes through, and so DeWalt's kind of in the dark right now. I mean, back at home everything's going kind of mission accomplished, but unfortunately because Protoss have the notable disadvantage of not being able to lift their buildings. Then HitEmUp can come through and see what's going on.
Yeah, now DeWalt unfortunately is going to get into that main. I mean, it's not really going to be too impactful. He can't steal the gas anymore, which is something that could have happened if it got in a little bit sooner. But HitEmUp really does need to land that barracks, otherwise he could get a pylon stuck under there and a zealot rammed into his base. But it looks like he should be fine. It is going to be Dragoon first from DeWalt. Now HitEmUp sending his SCV to hide in the 12 o'clock position. This is not to hide any buildings or anything. It is because he wants to go back up 4 minutes to see if there is an expansion ready.
I'm actually curious what Dewalt is going to do in reaction to this. I mean, he sees that there's no expansion, but wait, there's also no factory. And okay, he's gonna see the factory. I actually didn't notice there was only one there, but there's also a factory being built near his base, so things are gonna get a little bit weird.
Yeah, now 2Fact, interestingly, a very fun build to play. I played it a lot on ladder recently. Played it today and beat some poor Protoss player, but it's a fun build, and especially if you do this weird proxy with the second factory, you can do a lot of damage. Now, what we should see is he's probably going to go into 2 machine shops here. I mean, this would be my guess, and then go for tanks up here as well. But you do
Well,
want
you're going to show the machine shop back at home for sure, but he also missed the probe with the 2 Marines that went out to look for it. Dewalt hit it in the close location instead of the far one, and so the probe stays alive much longer than it actually should.
Yeah, DeWalt has done a very good job keeping this alive. Like, this has been running away from 2 Marines forever, and it's still alive. Like, I mean, people always say probes are, like, good because they heal, but yeah, there we go. It finally does go down. Now, we aren't going to see the second machine shop. It is going to be Vulture tank coming out from this. Now, we could actually be just going for Vulture speed, but no, it's going to be mines first. Probably going to go into 2 tanks before he switches to Vultures in his other factory. But this is going to be a little bit dangerous for DeWalt. DeWalt doesn't know this is coming. He's likely going to think there is eventually going to be a command center coming up here, and he could actually get caught off guard by HitEmUp if HitEmUp controls this properly. And we could see a pretty big upset.
You don't usually see a lot of Terran play against, or a lot of bio play from TVP unless you're going for some of these like super early kind of cheesy, like deep 6 kind of rushes, right? But this is a weird way to do it. I don't usually see this, but it's going to be awesome because, it's DeWalt won't expect this for sure. Like he knows that something is kind of up with, where he was sending his probe to like continually look and see like, well, like what else are you doing? Like, I mean, it's not like an FD because you got a probe in the base, right? So something's going on. He does have a very safe line of Dragoons, and he's working on a natural, which is not ideal when you're getting rushed. He does actually have only Dragoons. I thought he might have had like a Zealot, but I guess he is not going to have a whole lot to deal with this. And against mines and the siege tank, I mean, I don't know. It's perhaps looking a bit dire for a player that you might have thought would be able to make this look one-sided.
Yeah, now the interesting thing is he is going for a lot of vultures with this, so he needs to keep this tank alive. That is going to be the big linchpin of this push. Now the mine's going to be doing a lot of damage, but every single unit counts. And he is going to be pushing in. There's no robo yet, but the vultures are going down before using all of their mines. And this is going to be surprisingly good by Dewalt, but here we go. The probes have been pulled, the marines doing their best to target them down.
Now, the scary thing about pulling your probes here is that you know there are mines down. So if one of those gets triggered, then all your probes blow up and you lose the game. So
Yeah.
obviously he's losing probes, and that is never what you want to see, but he has to buffer for these Dragoons and allow them to be as effective as possible. Every Dragoon volley that goes off is closer and closer to him holding. And he does hold. He lost maybe 5 probes, which is still a lot, but I mean, as long as you don't die, you've got an extra base, so realistically all you kind of have to do is hold on.
Oh, speed is done on these vultures now, though, so he can look to run into the main. He's got a mine blocking this. Is he going to go for it?
Whoa! Sick targeting. He does actually kill off the mines. You know, it only takes a couple of shots, but you want to fire with more just in case. He actually lost one of the Dragoons that was firing that shot, so he's lucky that he did target down this mine successfully. And there is like sick Bisu micro you can do, or Gosu micro. I guess they're simultaneous or synonymous, but
Yeah.
where you step forward, step back, and like try to take the mines out without vision. But you know, that's just really hard to do, and I'm not sure what ping they're playing on.
Yeah, latency obviously does come into this. Now we do have observers coming on, which means this fully vulture push now is gonna stop. He really did need to add a couple more tanks, I think, with this, but still, he's gonna try and do his best to take down this Nexus as soon as he can. But these observers are gonna make it very, very difficult for HitEmUp to really do too much. He's adding a... Oh, nice usage of those mines, using that tank to get as much damage on these Dragoons as possible.
The targeting here, the shot priority by Dewalt is so sick. He's picking off every single mine as soon as it goes down. He's actually positioning his Dragoons so that they stop the vultures from running through. But this is going to be the end of the rush by HitEmUp. He's actually lifted his barracks back home and his factory as well. He's going to be moving both of them into brand new locations during which they, you know, can't build anything. And Dewalt just has quite a few Dragoons after everything.
Yeah, now Dewalt did an incredibly good job holding on to that. A lot of lesser Protoss players would not have been able to hold there. As you said, his shot priority on his Dragoons was absolutely impeccable. And he is going to take his third base now in that mineral only.
Yeah, but like, I don't know what the plan is here for HitEmUp. Like, he lifted both his barracks and his factory, so realistically, the only building he can make units out of is a factory back at home, and he's not building anything out of that. So he's not building units, which is in general a bad thing to do. I mean, yeah, now he is. He just started.
Yeah, now the trouble is when you go for this kind of rush and it fails, because he's been so busy building vultures for so long, you're very low on tank count, and suddenly Dewalt's going to have a lot of Dragoons. And the issue is, like, they'll take out all of your mines and eventually you'll just die. But hopefully HitEmUp's going to be able to hold on here. He is going to add on a wall at his front as well, just to make sure. He's going to fly his barracks back there as well to add that on. And he's going to make it very difficult for Dewalt to move in. Now, HitEmUp realistically did a decent amount of damage. He got a lot of probes. He slowed down Dewalt a lot, forced a lot more Dragoons out than maybe he wanted to. And now he's going to be on a base advantage against Dewalt here as he gets his third command center very, very quickly.
Yeah, wow, a third CC, man. Tell me things that I didn't expect to see. It's definitely that. That is actually really impressive that the game is kind of stabilized. I thought Dewalt held that so well he would have been able to go for a counter push, but obviously siege mode and mines makes that a little bit more difficult. So, you know, I would definitely say Dewalt is in still a great position. He's able to get a third base of his own. This is sort of that win ahead, get more ahead mentality that you're seeing kick in for Dewalt.
Yeah, now interestingly, he's still working off the back of just 2 gateways. He's going into Arbiter Tech from this as well. And this is going to be the big moment for HitEmUp. If he can hold against this counter, he could be in a very strong position to actually take the game. Now, the trouble is there is a shuttle. It's going to be filled to the brim with 2 DTs. And he currently only has his comsats coming up now, so he needs to make sure he doesn't waste any scans. And there goes
Like
one.
that one?
He's got 2 left. But he needed to check the tech. He knows there's a Templar Archives now. he really does need to put down an engineering bay almost immediately, and that's what he's doing
Oh
at his
yeah.
third base. But that's where the DT is going now, so one thing that'd be really good for him is to actually kill that comsat and build another one. You can actually get the energy back a lot quicker that way, just in case you didn't know that. It's one of the things I've used on ladder a little bit. But either way, the DT's coming in. There are no mines back here to defend. Very difficult to actually use mines to defend as well, but you can see Dewalt immediately going after that comsat. He knows that's the only form of detection that we do have, and the units coming in from the front as well. They're actually on top of the tanks somehow. The tanks aren't far enough back.
All you do is pick up. Yeah, just pick him up. Pick it 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 up. Pick up the DT. Hey, there we go.
Yeah, he didn't pick up the DT because the units were coming in the front. He was focusing on those. And GG! Yep. Despite almost holding on, unfortunately for HitEmUp, he's not going to be able to hold on there. But he did a lot better, if I'm honest, than I was expecting him to. So I think that's a very, very strong pickup that aSh have picked up with HitEmUp.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He actually stabilized pretty well. Now, granted, he didn't have many units, and he, was in a weak position after failing the rush. But it was still a cool idea. It was decently well executed. But Dewalt is actually just so good, targeting his mine.
Yes.
Every Dragoon ball, he sacrificed just enough pros, but didn't lose too many. HitEmUp did okay, but Dewalt did really, really well. So. Definitely deserving of that win, and that does give iRk the 3-0 victory.
Yep, but in case you didn't already realize, I know you know because you've heard me say this so many times, if there is a game played in the STPL, I will cast it, and unfortunately Rapid is here for this as well, so he also has to do the same thing. But we're going to have a ZVZ here to finish us off in this series, and then we'll